Taking off the gloves, I've had enough, it's in my blood. I was born for this.
Welcome to the show, everybody. Joseph Robert Camo, the fantasy football counselor. Exciting episode. We're talking bust or trust at the quarterback position for fantasy football 2021. I got a list of 5 quarterbacks, 5 relevant quarterbacks that are going to be really relevant for fantasy football 2021. I'm going to let you know whether, are they going to be a bust or should you trust them this year based on their ADP? Because a couple of these guys, their ADP is really high. Are they going to produce on that level? So big episode here. If you haven't listened to the other ones, go back and check the running backs bust or trust and the wide receivers bust and trust. Go back a few episodes and check those out. Very big episodes for you guys to start gauging whether some of these quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers are worth drafting this year. Okay, very important. Before we get into that, guys, huge news. Head on over to manscaped.com, guys. I've got this thing turned on and I'm telling you, it's amazing. You can shave around your sensitive areas without worrying about nicks and cuts. Again, Lawnmower 3.0, great fit, finish, great product. Use promo code SHOWERLION, guys. Shower Lion, save yourself 20%. They've also got the Weed Whacker, which will, get those nose hairs there if you're going on a date, whatever you want to impress your wife. Listen, amazing products. They've got ball wipes. They got everything here for you. Manscaped.com. Go treat yourself, guys. Use promo code Shower Lion. Save some money on your purchase. Head on over there right now. Don't forget to use that promo code to save some money. And finally, guys, make sure you get the 16-round draft solution. This is the game changer. Scrap the draft kits, cheat sheets. Draft kits are dead. Guys, if you guys are using a draft kit, it's literally taking last year's top finishers and they're telling you to draft them again in the exact same order. There's no thought process, guys. We've gone over this. Get the 16-round draft solution. I give you all the optimal players to draft in each round, based on the Cuddy system, consistency, upside, durability, depth, and youth. Everything, guys, all in the 16-round draft solution. We talk a little bit of dynasty. We talk a little bit about sleepers, breakouts. Everything's there, guys. Late round steals, everything there is going to help you guys dominate your year-long league. Get it below or head on over to thefantasyfootballcounselor.com if you're in the car. All right, let's talk about these 5 quarterbacks here. Bust or trust for these quarterbacks, okay? Let's dive in. Make sure you guys do smash that thumbs up and let me know in the comments below. I want to make it super interactive. Let me know in the comments below what you think, okay, if you're listening on YouTube. All right. Aaron Rodgers is the first one. Bust or trust for fantasy football 2021. Now, I did talk about this in a previous episode when I was talking about quarterbacks. Now, when I look at Aaron Rodgers, we got to talk about this. Now, he's currently, he actually finished, where did he finish? 2nd last year, currently sitting 7th. So he's going to be a top 10 quarterback this year. Remember, last year, the mainstream, the kids just slept on him because the year prior, he didn't have as good of a year. So people always ride the wave, okay? They're always like, okay, well, he didn't do good this year. I'm not going to draft him. He did good this year. I'm going to draft him. So they always look at that. Now, looking at 2019, Aaron Rodgers finished 9th. So you were able to scoop him up in and around, I would say, 6th round. I was getting him 6th round. I was getting guys like there's Russell Wilson, Josh Allen. All these guys were coming off in the 6th round. But everybody else last year was hung up on Lamar Jackson. I told you guys, stay away from Lamar Jackson. He had a pinnacle year in 2019. I'm looking at his 2019 numbers, 415 points for Lamar Jackson, 36 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. He had a great year. That's not going to happen again, okay? I mean, he was rushing more than pretty much 95, I don't know the exact number, but around 90% of the running backs, maybe more, 95% of the running backs in the NFL, 1,206 rushing yards, okay? That was a pinnacle year. And everyone's like I said, draft him. We'll get to Lamar Jackson in a second. But going back to Aaron Rodgers, again, he was a value. So now, coming off a big 2020 year, he's currently sitting 7th on the consensus rankings. I think a lot of people are going to be reaching for him and saying, hey, man, I want to get, Aaron Rodgers on my team. He had a good year last year, assuming he's going to do the same thing again. And I want to tell you, there's a chance that he could. But personally, for me, I'm going to say that he's not. 48 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, pinnacle year. His top receiver, Adams, having like 18 touchdowns. That is absolutely insane. Rodgers had an MVP season, Cinderella season. Is he going to duplicate that? Maybe, I don't know. Aaron Jones just got signed on again for a 4-year deal, okay? So he's coming back. Some of the familiar guys are coming back. Maybe they get another wide receiver. They want to keep beefing up and making sure that this offense is really high octane. Again, they've got A.J. Dillon in the back, who's just as capable, I think, as Aaron Jones there. They could have just kept him and dumped Aaron Jones off because they paid him a lot. And I don't see, 4 years out of Aaron Jones optimal. I don't see it. So when you look at this offense, it's going to be high octane. I think Aaron Rodgers wants to finish his career with exclamation Super Bowl here. So again, I'm looking at this guy and I'm thinking pinnacle year. There's going to be a bit of a decline. He'll be safe as long as he stays healthy and his receivers stay healthy. He'll be good. But I'm going to say that he probably busts based on his ADP. Again, he's going to probably be like a third rounder the way it sits right now. I think that I'm not going to pay for him. Second, third round, not going to pay for it. He could be in and around there. So, but if I had to choose, I'm just not going to trust him. Okay, it's not going to be a complete bust, but if I had to choose, I'm going to say bust on his ADP for Aaron Rodgers. Great year last year, decline coming. Next guy here, a guy that I think has all the upside in the world. The guy I'm talking about is Justin Herbert. Now, he finished 9th last year amongst quarterbacks, and he's sitting around 9th right now on the consensus consensus rankings, the copy and paste, right? But I think the ceiling is higher for a guy like Justin Herbert. Now, Justin Herbert, 31 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, not bad. When you look at attempts with Justin Herbert, that's 4 attempts. And you guys know, when I'm fishing for a quarterback, I'm looking for a guy who throws the ball a lot. And I love that. I love the number 4 in attempts, which is 595 attempts. Absolutely love it. Now, this guy didn't really get going until around week 3, right? He didn't really get into his groove all season. It takes time to get into. It was his rookie year, guys. Cut him some slack here. Now, some people go for they end up with a sophomore slump. I don't think that's going to be the case with Herbert. I think he is special, generational talent. I think he's got a lot of upside. I think Keenan Allen takes a step up. I hope they get a better secondary receiver to complement, Keenan Allen there. I like him. I think that I trust him, especially based on ADP. This guy could exceed his ADP, could be a top 3 quarterback, and a guy that I can get for a better value than I can get, a Pat Mahomes, obviously, or a Josh Allen, or Kyler Murray, or Deshaun Jackson, or Lamar Jackson, or Deshaun Watson, Lamar Jackson. Any of these guys, Aaron Rodgers, I can get Herbert for better value, most likely, in drafts, and this guy could outperform him. So I'm going to trust Herbert, but I'm always going to get a backup. Because, again, with quarterback, I like to get not only a guy that gets a lot of attempts, which he does, but a guy that's a little more proven, a guy that I can see a track record this guy performs on optimal level every single year. I may back him up with a Matt Ryan. I don't know yet. Still a little bit early. Matt Ryan may be having a bit of a bounce back this year. So, I don't know. We're going to have to see. And all those people hating on Matt Ryan, he did finish 12th last year, having one of the worst years of his life with Julio Jones hurt pretty much the entire. Julio Jones played 9 games. So, Matt Ryan finished 12th still under all of that BS. He still managed to get 26 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. So, Matt Ryan, you never know, man. As a backup, he's going to be a steal in drafts this year. There's going to be a couple other steals, and that's why you got to subscribe and get 60-round draft solution, because I'm going to be going all over that with you guys, okay? So, Herbert, I'm going to go ahead and trust him, all right? Next guy here, Lamar Jackson. Again, we just had a little bit of talk about him having this pinnacle year in 2019. Listen, Lamar Jackson had the best year of his life, right? Again, rushed for over 1,200 yards, phenomenal year. But in 2020, he came back to reality, as I said he would. 26 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. So his touchdowns dropped. Everything dropped. He finished 10th amongst quarterbacks, busting based on his ADP of the second-round pick. So, again, when you look at Lamar, talent is there. But, again, I always get a little, I don't want to say scared. I don't get scared much easily. But I get a little hesitant drafting a quarterback that runs and does the rushing attempts that Lamar Jackson does. And again, last year, he led in attempts with 159 rushing and 1,000 yards rushing. That makes me cringe as a fantasy owner, especially in year-long. DFS, great, love the guy. He could have some really boom games. But then you're talking a guy that, you have to carry for the entire year, knowing he puts his body on the line every single day. And you could say other guys run. Russell Wilson runs. Josh Allen runs. Yeah, but not as much, right? And I just think he's fancy schmancy. The way he does it, Josh Allen is straightforward like a bull. With Lamar, he's trying to be, I don't know, man. He just puts himself in compromising positions. Like, he's so agile, and you never know. He does this leap, and then some defensive back, comes charging in, takes his knees out. I don't feel comfortable with it, right? Especially last year, second-round pick. Good, he finished the season. Good, he stayed healthy. That's good. But again, I'm not sold on him being this some people thought he was like the next Pat Mahomes, or as good as Pat Mahomes, I should say, or Russell Wilson. I'm not sold on him being that good, 26 touchdowns, unacceptable. He had another, they're coming off a big year. He should at least 30 touchdowns. I want to see more. Guys. And another thing that turns me off about him is his attempts. Where is he in attempts? He's 24th in attempts. 376 attempts left. Throw the ball, dude. I know you're going to make it up in rushing, but I want to see more air. I want to see touchdowns, right? And I don't see that. He's not my type of quarterback. I'm not going to. Those are my reasons. So I'm going to say bust for Lamar Jackson. Now, obviously, he's going to be better value than he was last year. Currently, Lamar is sitting 4th amongst quarterbacks, obviously being valued. The Qbs is just riding the name train, right? Again, it's not a popularity contest. It's about production and attempts and not risking your body. All right, next guy here, Matt Stafford. Another guy, man, just not a fan of Matt Stafford, yet I think the Qbs are going to be all over him. He's sitting 13th amongst quarterbacks, ahead of guys like Matt Ryan, ahead of guys that I think could finish ahead of him, maybe even Ben Roethlisberger, maybe Trevor Lawrence. We're going to see where he ends up. There's other guys I like ahead of Matt Stafford. Again, he's sitting 13th. He's going to be on the Rams this year. Now, here's the thing with Matt Stafford. A lot of people asking, do you bust or does he bust or trust? His best season was in 2011. He has not had a 2011 season since, 2011. So he had 343 points that year, 41 touchdowns, 16 interceptions, 41 touchdowns. He's never hit that. I mean, if you look at, what was it, last year, 26 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. Am I excited about that? Am I like, oh my God, he finished 15th. I'm excited. I mean, his attempts are good, 528, but 26 and 10, not acceptable. In 2019, he played 8 games. Now, I don't want to say that Matt Stafford is injury prone at all. He's finished almost every one of his seasons, except for like 1 or 2. So durability is not really a question for me. But again, 2019, not a good year. 2018, finished 20th amongst quarterbacks. Only 21 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. That's not cool. Like 212 fantasy points. Yeah, you can make an argument that he's on the Rams now, right? Better O-line, better weapons, better this, that. I get it. But it's still Matt Stafford, right? Like, is he going to have a 2011, season? Is he going to throw 41 touchdowns? Maybe. You got to look at what other quarterbacks did. Goff was there. Goff, a guy that is comfortable with that offense. 20 touchdowns last year, 13 interceptions. So if Goff is a little bit of a telling tale in regards to what to expect from Stafford, maybe even a slight improvement, you could say. But is it going to be an improvement? Because Matt Stafford, new offense, got to gel with the offense, got to get into the groove. Goff's been there for a while, still only threw 20 touchdowns. That's a big concern to me. It's tough. I'm not going to take a chance. I think people are going to be drafting Stafford thinking he's going to have a top 5, top 10 season maybe. I'm not sold. So I'm going to say bust for Matt Stafford for me. Trust me, there is some upside. He could have a good season. He could gel. I mean, it's a big market team, right? They want to make the Rams do well, right? That's what the NFL wants, big market team. It's questionable. I think he has a safe season. I'm personally not taking a risk. So for me, he's a bust. I don't trust him, okay? I won't even say he's a bust. I just don't trust him, okay? Next guy here, a lot of people talking about this guy, Jalen Hurts, all right? Jalen Hurts currently sitting 15th amongst quarterback rankings. That's kind of fair based on upside. I like Carson Wentz ahead of him. Carson Wentz sitting 19th because Carson Wentz, we've kind of seen what he could do. He can be fantasy relevant, and he's going to be behind a great offensive line. They've got a running back. They just got to improve the receivers there. But when you look at a guy like, Jalen Hurts, you got to look at a guy that's going to run the ball a lot. Now, week 14, when he really started to get his start going there, he had the 106 rushing yards. So, again, you've got a guy who is really hungry to get a lot of rushing yards. Is that going to be a problem for risk of injury, right? And who's he going to throw it to? Is he going to throw it to Fulgham? Is he going to throw it to Ward? Are they going to get receivers here? What's going on? I don't have enough here to go on to make me think that this guy is going to be amazing if he's going to have a 2019 Lamar Jackson year. I don't have enough data. I don't have enough proof. I haven't seen enough out of this guy to make me believe he's going to be fantastic. 3 rushing touchdowns in those 4 games. I mean, six touchdowns, 4 interceptions. That ratio doesn't look very good in a small sample size. I'm not sold. And trust me, when you have a guy that you could be a dual threat, that can run, that's young, that a team says, hey, you're going to be our starting quarterback if they decide he's going to be the starter, which looks like he is, you've got that upside. But with upside comes major risk. And at a quarterback position, I'm not willing to take the risk when I can get myself a Russell Wilson, a Herbert, a Ryan Tannehill, a Tom Brady, or anyone else that I feel will outperform Jalen Hurts and be a little more safe, potentially. Again, the upside is there. Don't get me wrong, okay? But I don't trust the Eagles. I don't trust the wide receivers. I don't trust Hurts yet. That's my thoughts on it. So I'm going to say he's going to bust for me. But again, I could be wrong. If it was any other team, maybe. But Philly, They don't excite me, man. I'm just not sold on him, okay? So there you have it. So he's a bust for me. Stafford, don't trust him. Lamar Jackson, don't trust him. Justin Herbert, I trust him, and Aaron Rodgers is going to be safe, but I personally don't trust him based on his ADP. There you have it, guys. Quarterback bust or trust. Make sure you guys head over to manscaped.com, get your trimmer, and use promo code SHOWERLION and get the 16-round draft solution below, guys. You don't want to miss out. Lowest price of the season, and smash the thumbs up. Thank you guys for being here. It means the world to me. It's going to be a huge 2021 season. I'm excited. Hopefully you're excited. Let's get to it, guys. Fantasy football is around the corner. Subscribe, and I'm out.